Hello there. Oh, I think I'm a minute or so late here. Okay. Hi, everyone. All right. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. Okay. Happy Tuesday. All right. So we're here. Okay. Familiar faces here today. It's hard to come on so thanks for being here because it's hard to come to something like this when it's so beautiful out today. It's like a really lovely day. Um, okay, so I am going, before we start, I want to put up an affirmation. Oh my goodness, I have a bit of a story here. So about, oh my goodness, I think it might have been 13, 14 years ago. I went to a reader. It was a very long time ago, and she was such a beautiful woman. She's passed away since then. Otherwise, I would have gone to see her again. And what happened was when I went into her, it was this little apartment, and she was I'm gonna call it. I think she was like an angel reader, and she read all this stuff and things. And when she read me, when I first went, this is my first time ever seeing anybody that was like in this kind of stuff. And I walked into her apartment, and it was completely pink, and I just cried. Oh my God. I had a 45-minute session with her, and I just cried for the first hour. And she said to me, "Oh dear, you carry so much." And I couldn't even talk. And I felt so bad because I wasted my hour and I just cried and cried. Anyway, after that, she gave me a lovely reading. And she kind of says, "I know exactly what you're going to do when you get through what you need to get through." And she kind of gave me some hints, but she goes, "Finding it on your own is the fun part. So I'm going to give you one or two things, and it's not going to mean anything to you now." But she goes, "You are meant to be a communicator." She didn't tell me anything about healing. She goes, "You talk too much for a reason." And she goes, "You'll figure it out." But when I left her place, like I was really embarrassed because I never cried in front of I rarely cried back then, and I rarely cried in front of another person. My goodness. But she gave me a package, and in that package was a bunch of papers. And one of them was a daily affirmation. There was another one, a prayer, which I've actually put in the forgiveness deck that I've done before. I'm actually doing am I doing a forgiveness one? I think I'm doing a forgiveness one next Wednesday, so it's going to be in that deck. But this affirmation, I'm going to put it on the screen and give everyone a few minutes to read it. And I want you to see what the paper looks like because I've had this for about 13 some odd years. And I just found it in my closet. I used to say this affirmation, but she told me there are three things I want you to do. I want you to say this prayer. I want you to say this affirmation. And I want you to look in the mirror and say, "Brenda, I love you," for 2 minutes every day for the next 60 days. And that was the hardest thing. She goes, "And I don't care how hard it is, and you're going to cry, but you have to do it. You have to promise me." And I shook her hand, and I did it. I listened. And that was the start of my releasing and releasing. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. And today's topic is going to be about why healing can be so uncomfortable, and we want change to be positive. We want change to be now, and we're not getting it. And it's so frustrating. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. But first, I'm going to put up the affirmation for everyone to see. I will pass it along in the email because this thing, it started the change of my life. So I'm going to share it here for a second. While you're reading it, I'm going to grab my charger. All right. So give me 1 second. Hmm. Okay, I'm back and I'm going to give you one thing I believe. So if you've read that, it was at the time when she gave me that, I didn't understand any of what I was reading really. And I was kind of young, so I wasn't worried about aging. But I said that affirmation every day, probably 15, 20 times a day. I used to carry it with me. It's all wrinkled. I took a picture of it. It was all over my room. I memorized this one. I love it. And you know how it says, like, I'm talking to my cellular structure, to vibrate to my intent, and then like that I'm slowing down the aging. I still use that today. Some days I feel like I look old. I'm like, oh, I look so tired and worn out because I'm busy, and I am worn out and tired sometimes. But I always say, okay, cells, we're going to be healthy. We're going to be young. Let's do this and let's be healthy. That's the main thing, is really being healthy. I tried reversing gray hair. I believe at one point it was working, but I kind of stopped playing around with that one. But that is a very powerful affirmation. I will pass it along in the email. It will be on the replay, obviously. So before we start, I do want to talk about, because I get a lot of questions about people's healing, the process of healing. Why aren't I feeling better? What are the signs I'm feeling better? And it is a gradual process, and we're all on our own journey. So my experience isn't necessarily going to be somebody else's experience. So if you want to add in the chat box, what did you notice while you started healing? What changes did you notice? So before we start that conversation, I just want to give you a brief introduction to the call. A lot of the people on the call today, I think, are regulars. There's a lot of people that have signed up that were new names, and they may get the replay. Maybe they are new. So I just want to talk a little bit about the call. So as we come together and we send an intention for healing, and I'll start it off with energy flowing. What this energy does is all of us are here willingly, and we're adding to this beautiful energy, and it's collecting. So everyone's beautiful energy is kind of accumulating into like this big, huge beam of light. That beam of light is then going to be sent out to everyone on the call. I send the intention that goes to everyone's families, to any pets, clearings of their homes. Well, we get bigger. We send it actually to the entire world and anyone who needs it. Now, we're all sending. We want to also receive it. So a lot of us have problems receiving this energy. And this is a new energy that's on Earth. Give it a chance, because it is a miracle worker. The thing is, it's on a slightly different frequency than we're used to. So when we used to do healings, we're tapping into one type of energy. Over the last bit, it's been shifting to a different frequency. How do you tap into that frequency? Well, it is asking. I am giving permission to myself to tap into this beautiful new energy that's on Earth to help humanity heal. I'm saying yes to the ascension processes. I'm saying yes to the light. I'm ready to heal. Now, human healing has to happen gradual, because if we were going to let all of our issues and darkness and dense energy just zap away, well, that's kind of happens when we pass away and we go into heaven or the world of light, right? We don't want to do that. We want to stay on Earth and anchor the light on Earth. For our 3D bodies to do that, healing has to happen gradually. So we're releasing, we're bringing in more light, we're releasing, we're bringing in the light. So things like that, we're just doing very slowly, and everyone's going to do it based on their soul's journey. Their higher self is in control. So I can send out as much healing energy as I want to a client. Say, I want a one-on-one, the healing energy is there. What I do is I create a healing space. But it's up to that person's higher self to say, okay, we're going to take this and release this today. It's not just one thing. It's not like we're releasing just one thing today. It's a whole package of junk that goes, but it's being directed by your higher self. And we need to heal in layers. It's gradual. It's slow. It's gradual. It's slow. And it can be frustrating for many people. But when we give the permission to heal, it almost feels like our life can go upside down. And this is where people get really frustrated. I'm being challenged in my relationships. I'm being challenged at work. I'm being challenged financially. I'm being challenged in my mood. I'm being challenged in this and that. I'm feeling like it's not working. And it's the cutest thing when I'm working with someone and I can feel they release so much and they say, oh no, I didn't feel anything. No, nothing's working. I've tried affirmations, they don't work. No, I've tried this, it doesn't work. I've tried this healer, it doesn't work. It's and meanwhile, I see they look so much brighter energetically. But what's happening is it's happening in their field. We all have this like auric field. So it's happening in the quantum field level. And it can take a while for it to show up in our physical bodies and in our environment around us. So when I first started going into energy work, and I think it was that affirmation that I put up today that kind of put me on this road of starting to ask, okay, there must be more. Like, what do these words mean? I'm saying them. This lady was so kind to me. She was so beautiful. But half the things she said to me, I didn't understand. But she taped it in like the old cassettes. Remember those? So I still have it, but getting it to play somewhere. I think I have one somewhere that I could play it. But she was like such a beautiful woman and she spent so much time with me. And I remember thinking, I will always give my clients the time because we're all at different stages. And some people are new going into energy work and they have lots of questions and they're scared because the journey of healing can be very uncomfortable. It's a lot of up and down. And then someone will say, well, how do I know I'm making progress? Well, some people will say that they feel lighter. They just feel like I feel lighter. I feel more at peace. I feel calm. Some people say, I know, I just started seeing numbers. Like I'm seeing 222 everywhere and 333 and 111. You know, there's a fantastic website, Joanne Sacred. She has all those number combinations. So when I first learned about numbers, and my first numbers that I saw were 911, 911. I saw 911 everywhere. I said, oh my gosh, just before I got into energy work, before I got any, I was in a bad place. And I said, I'm going to die. That's what the sign's saying. And I was terrified to look up what could 911 possibly mean. And then I had the courage to look it up. And it said, it does not necessarily mean you're going to die. It means you're getting an urgent message from your guardians to wake the heck up. So I was kind of relieved by that. So, oh, okay, I might not die, but I need to wake up. And then that led to something else because at that point, I think I asked. I know I sometimes have notes of how I went through this, and I believe that was it. I said nine. First, I went to the angel lady, and that was kind of like someone told me to go, and I thought it'd be fun. Then I started seeing 911, and then I kind of asked, the universe, God, saying, okay, tell me what time my body's failing. I'm so upset. I'm so sad. Something's not right. And I said, show me the next step or take me off this planet, whichever. Like I'm ready to go or I'm ready to start. And the next my boss did something. I ended up resigning, got a new job, met a psychic. She introduced me to beam therapy. And then I connected with Dr. Beatty, and I was under her wings for so many years as she worked on me, and I started to explore other things. But every single day, I worked on myself every single day. There was a day or so where all I could do was cry. So I wasn't really working on myself because I was just releasing so much. So we have this energetic field, and there's like an emotional body, a mental body. And there are some of us who have been through so much crap, but we never really went through the motions. Oh, that's another crappy thing that happens. Almost normal. So I'll just put that away because I have to, go to work. I have to be a mom. I have to go to university. I got things to do. Then something else happens. Again, put it into my field. Not going to worry about it. I'm a tough girl. I'm going to get through this. Well, then the healing starts. All that suppressed energy, all those emotions, all those traumas, all those sad events, anything you've ever seen on the news, any scary movie you've ever seen, things you've heard from your family, things you've heard from your friends, and a whole heck of a lot of other things coming from past lives and all that other crap we don't need to get into starts to come out. Oh my gosh. And that's where you get that really rocky feeling. And I mean, some people complain they're having diarrhea, they're throwing up, they can't stop crying. That's just the darkness leaving and anchoring more light. When we say darkness, don't be scared of darkness, because it's in every human being. We live in duality. We are duality. We have the light within us, we have the dark within us. We have and there's this battle. So the dark can't make us do anything. It can give us impulses to go have that drink or eat that cake or say that mean thing to that person. That's what the dark can do. It can give us impulses, desires that are not good for us. The light, on the other hand, when we're feeling inspired, when we're feeling connected, the darkness doesn't really have control of us. They give us a desire or an impulse. We just ignore it. But now I'm tired. Now I'm stressed. Oh, yeah, give me that drink. I need a drink. Or give me that, whatever it is that satisfies me, because I'm too tired to fight that impulse that the dark within me is giving. So we chip away at it. We chip away at it through affirmations, which I am a big believer of affirmations. And when I hear people say affirmations don't work, it's because at the beginning, it feels like you're lying, right? So, like, yeah, I'm healthy and strong and happy. Okay, no, I'm not. So, at first, it's like lying to yourself. You have to lie a little bit. You just, lying is not a good thing, but you're saying an affirmation which you feel is untrue. So, it feels like you're lying to yourself. But really, what you're doing is you're ignoring your current crappy situation and you're saying where you want to go. So, every day life is getting better and better. That's an easy one. I'm not lying to myself. It is getting better and better. Every day I'm going to feel happier for a few more minutes. Things like that. So now I used to go big. I'm feeling fabulous. My body's healthy. Meanwhile, I was like having problems with my kidneys. They were not fabulous. They hurt. And they kept saying I'm going to lose them if I didn't change my life. So that had fear. I had fear going on. And here I am saying, I'm healthy. I'm happy. And over time, though, what happens with affirmations is they become a belief, because all a belief is a thought you say over and over. So that's what the power of affirmations are. I am sending out this positive energy, this request to the universe, request to my angels, request to God, saying, I am healthy, I am happy, I am this. Now, what happens is I'm ready to start healing. You can say an affirmation that feels good to you. And I'll send you a whole list of ones that I kind of picked through. Some are very heavy. I go all out now. I'm cutting cords, I'm cutting ancestral ties, I'm cutting karma, because we can do that in this. But I started off with the one I showed you, and that's a very powerful one as well. So you just start, and if it's hard to do an affirmation, then start small. I'm gonna have a great day. That's it. I'm gonna have a great day. I mean, if I wake up in the morning and I kick my toe and I'm pissed off, I can say, I'm gonna have a crappy day. Oh, I'm gonna have a crappy day. But if I kick my toe and say, okay, that's a wake up call that I kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I'm gonna take a deep breath and I'm gonna have a great day. And then I just keep saying it, and my day gets better and better. Affirmations are your instructions to your body, they're instructions to the universe. So be careful on the words you use, the thoughts you think, and the actions you take, because every little thing that's energy you're putting out is red. It's called the law of attraction. Don't have to understand it, but we are affected by it. Do you fully understand gravity? No, we know it works. Something drops, it's falling down. Everyone's affected by the law of gravity, law of electricity, the magnetic field, law of attraction. Whatever you say comes back. Gonna have a crappy day? Gonna have a crappy day. I'm always sick. I'm never good at this. What's gonna happen? That's exactly what's gonna happen. Look at the words that you use. Look at the actions. Look at the conversations you have. And then look at your life. I used to use this word, I am so messed up. And what was I? I was really messed up. It wasn't until someone said, why would you say that about yourself? Because you're just calling it in. And I'm always like, no, it doesn't work that way. So I started playing with life. I started playing with words. And when I was positive, I had a better day. And I had a better day and a better day. And then I realized we do create our own reality. Then the next step was stating that I was not a victim, that everything that ever happened to me was my doing. Very hard, really hard. I had to look like, how could all those things that happened to me been me? But it was my vibration. It was my lack of self-love, lack of boundaries, lack of caring what happened to me. I cared about everyone else, but I forgot about me. So my journey for the last 12 years was learning to love Brenda. I love myself. I truly do. I look in the mirror every day and I say, Brenda, I love you. But there's still resistance there. We all have it. So I don't believe we will ever get it all done in this lifetime. So every morning I wake up and I take an oath to Brenda. I'm going to do better today. If I notice anything bubbling up, I'm going to deal with it. And how do I deal with it? If I get a silly thought saying, you know what, oh, life's too hard. I just can't do this anymore. And I just like, excuse me, did you just say that? No, no, no. We are blessed to be on this planet in this time in the ascension process. You chose to come here. How dare you say that you don't want to be here? So I self-talk a lot. And if I'm not talking to a client or my child or listening to some type of book or something happy, I'm talking to me and my guides. That's it. So I know some people say you make it look easy. It's a routine now. And do we have to do this forever? No, probably for the next 7 years. Unfortunately, that's what I feel. We are in the purging of darkness from humanity, from all of us. It's a personal ascension and it's a human collective ascension, and Mother Earth's in it. So as Mother Earth heals, we heal. As we heal, she heals. As I heal, others around me heal. As you heal, other people around you heal. I can't force a healing. You can't force a healing. I know some of us have friends or family that are frustrating and that talk of pattern, but what we can do is we can hold the light to show them that life can be okay, even though right now it feels very heavy. Is you we still can find happiness, and the thing is, life isn't meant to be all lollipops and happiness. And some people say, well, I started energy work, so how did I just break my ankle, or how do I need an operation, or how did I find out I'm sick, or how did my child get in a car accident? Okay, we live on planet Earth, we live in duality. So there's a few reasons. One, bad things don't stop happening. Like, I haven't noticed them. What has happened is, okay, they're not as bad as they used to, but still things happen. But what happens is my perception of them. So if something happens, instead of being negative about it, I go, wow, what a beautiful learning experience this has been. So and so told me off and they told me I was this and that. I'm like, wow, and I didn't let it get to me. I realized that was theirs, but it was kind of a reflection of me. So I'm just going to take a deep breath and try to figure out what's in there of me that triggered that. So everything's neutral. And sometimes I can put a positive spin, like, wow, I learned a great lesson from that. But I don't go to the negative, like, oh, I'm not good enough. This person said this. No, nothing like that. But that's where I used to go. So how does energy work change us? How does meditation, how does self work? We're moving out of lifestyle into mind style. But what does that mean? It means training your mind to look at things from a positive aspect, keeping yourself in as high spirits as possible when there's chaos around you. Our kids are not doing well, this and this. So I wake up every morning, life happens, right? So I say, my kids are happy and thriving. Now, is that true? I don't know. I'm going to hope so. So I'm just going to say my kids are happy and thriving. And I know that everybody on this planet has come with their own beautiful guides watching them, that we're all children of God. So that I say, I'm not going to worry about everything that happens to my child in the day. They have their angels with them. They have God watching over them. And I'm going to send them into positive, and whatever is meant, they're on their own soul's journey. So who am I to stop someone from going through a bit of sadness or a sickness even? Because my sickness kind of woke me up. So sometimes sicknesses are a blessing. although they can be very painful. I get that, and uncomfortable for the family and all that. Like, don't get me wrong. No, I don't believe anyone should have to suffer. But some people will say, like a lot of people will say that their illness was one of the best things that's ever happened to them, or perhaps a loss, or perhaps of losing their career, something that like just shocked them and woke them up. I had somebody say they got a bee sting, and that bee sting was the best thing that happened to them because like it kind of woke them up during an event. So it's really like it depends how we look at things. So when people ask me how am I supposed to feel when I'm healing, there's ups and downs. There's a lot of self-reflection, which can be embarrassing because like, oh my gosh, look what I did in the past. I was such a pleaser. I never took care of myself. But the past does not define who we are. It was a learning. So that was just a different version of Brenda. So I love her for what she went through because she brought me to who I am today. And I'm still growing. In 3 weeks from now, this version of Brenda, I love her because in 3 weeks, I'll be somebody else. And I shift every 3 weeks because I'm doing work endlessly, but I'm addicted to it. I just love the feeling of letting things go and bringing in more light. So it's kind of fun. Although it can be exhausting and sometimes we're like, oh, enough already. But we're in this together. So I guess if anyone has any questions, I'll answer them. But we're going to get into the healing. I didn't mean to talk so long. I was actually going to start bringing the talking less, but that really needed to be said today because I've had the conversation and it's coming up with a lot of people asking me. So some people have said that they feel lighter as they started doing energy work, but they sometimes get scared of the shifts and it's overwhelming and scary. And actually that is true because change is scary. Change is like, and this is another thing, when we're going to make a shift, there's a part of us that goes, no, Brenda, don't change. We don't want to change. It's too scary. I do something new every single day, whether it's going into a different room, being like doing jumping jacks. I know it sounds silly, but I don't take the same route. I always change it up in the car. I'll do this one day because I'm just used to change. And the more change, we're going through change. So that's how I got used to changing. So that's a good one. So when you're scared, ask your angels to give you a hug and know that you're safe because energy work is only to get you better, but we are given experiences for things that we have to learn. A lot of the junk we let go of, but the stuff that stays are things we need to go through because we came on this planet to learn and experience and grow. And if they took away all those experiences, then why are we really here? So anything that's coming to your life, look at it as an experience for your growth. What am I going to learn from this? What's needed? And if you fail that and you don't get it, you're going to get it again in another form. But if you pass it, you move forward. So just keep plugging away and working on you. Okay. So yeah, someone mentioned that, with the kids, it's hard to let them go. A lot of people have a lot of control on their kids or worry about them so much. But the worry adds more worry. When you add something like my kids are happy and thriving and they are safe, okay. I mean, it doesn't stop them from going through life's ups and downs because that's part of their healing journey. So if you think about how many times you may have been sad as a child or in your adulthood, if those experiences were taken away from you, would you be the same person? I'm not saying that we want our kids to suffer, but putting them in a bubble doesn't stop them from going through their experiences. It might delay their experiences. So, we can push them along with lots of love and positivity. So why not get into the healing right now? And we're going to take a few deep breaths. We're going to just relax, and anything that's bubbling up, whether it is a physical pain, an emotion that's bubbling up, a mental thing that's coming, that's like, sometimes our mental stays like, oh, the stupid replay of something that's there for whatever reason, or it's so funny, like somebody could say something that wasn't nice to you and it lingers, right? So let's just bring all that up. And you can talk to your guides right now, talk to God, talk to whoever you believe in. It's all coming from the same beautiful energy that loves us, and say, hey, I'm ready to let this go. I'm ready to shift. I'm moving forward. I need this body to be healthy. I know it can be healthy. Talk to the cells of your body. stress stops us from healing. So let's let go of that stress so our bodies can do what they naturally do. We're going to activate our smart bodies, the innate systems, to get those cells working and saying, hey, what's wrong? Something wrong in our body. Let's go and start healing that. So we're going to get out big infusement of energy right now. We're going to let this energy do whatever it needs to do. And at the end of it, so we're going to go for about 25 minutes. I use a singing bowl, which is going to make a noise. Now, this noise may not sound beautiful coming in outside of your computer, but note that the essence of it, the intention of it, is what is going to just break the last minute negative energy and just kind of break it and release it from your home, your body, and things like that. Okay, I'm going to drink a bunch of water here as I get the music ready, and we'll begin. If anyone again, thank you. And there are some people have written about people they're worried about because they're not feeling well at this time. So I am going to make a mental note of anyone who needs special intentions. But if you just think about these people, this energy is intelligent. It knows what we want, and we're going to send it to whoever needs it. But I have those special intentions there, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right, hold on. I like this song. I'm gonna go right to the beginning with that one. All right, there we go. I'm gonna share the music. If it's too loud, someone just write it in the chat. I'll watch the chat for a minute. I'm gonna, as I share it, it might amplify. 1 sec, I'm sharing now. Here we go. I'm just going to say one thing before I start. For people who are new on the call, if you don't like the music, you don't have to listen to it. Just turn your volume down. One more thing, I sometimes get inspired to wave my hands around. If that bothers you, just close your eyes. So you're just going to get relaxed at this point. You can allow this energy to do what it needs to do. It's intelligent. It knows what you need. So just get comfortable laying down, sitting down. If you fall asleep, just let it go. Just fall asleep. It's still working on you. There's many times I do meditations where I just fall asleep. So just feel free to fall asleep. All right. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put the music back on and we'll start. All right, everyone. Whew, that was lovely. So, thank you for all for joining us today. We all did that together. So, that energy is going to continue to work for 3, 4, even 5 days. Drink lots of water. As you go to the bathroom, you're just getting rid of toxins. So, that's good. That's very good for your healing. So, yeah, you might wake up very thirsty in the middle of the night, and that might be not your normal thing. Just drink, because there's lots happening in that system of yours, lots of healing happening. So drink, drink, drink. um some of us, when we go through these healings, our subconscious mind is kind of like still processing and releasing. So you can go to bed at night asking that you have a peaceful sleep while that's happening. You don't have to be part of it. Some people like to be part of it because it's like, they feel like something's happening. But I don't enjoy it. So I always say, okay, do whatever you need to do. I'm going to bed. So I leave it to God and go to sleep pretty much. Okay, take care of you guys. I'm out of here. And it's kind of a nice way to get a good night's sleep. If you have any questions, feel free to either email me or text me. I'm feeling a little bit dizzy from that one. If you are dizzy, there's a lot of energy there. You can stand up, stomp your feet, and ground a little bit, or just go to bed. That'll work as well. Another, like, if you feel like you're going through something and it's hard to release it, having a bath in a it doesn't have to be tonight, maybe the next few days. Epsom salt and baking soda. It's a really great way to pull out toxins. So you can do that. Affirmations, I'm going to get through this. I'm allowing this, speed it up already. You can ask for a quantum shift, but they might give you one, so be careful with that. I usually do that every 6 months, and I always go, why did I ask too much in one shift? But it's whatever you can handle. They're going to give you. So I'm going to end the call. I will send the replay. Yep, it did record. Okay. And I'll send out that affirmation and a bunch of other ones in this new energy. Affirmations work. They're important. Don't give up on them. And don't give up on this new energy. I know some of us are in pretty bad shape, and people are just getting frustrated and fed up, saying, maybe it's not meant to be. Don't give up on it. Just allow it. There's lots of resistance, and when you're in that cloud of darkness, you don't know if you have a centimeter left or more. It's hard to tell when you're in it, but there's so much happening in your quantum field. You have no idea. So just give it a chance to show. And you know celebrate the small wins, even if it's a small win, like subtle changes in the positive. Like, oh, today I felt like a little bit happier, or I felt more peace today, or so and so who never smiles at me smiled at me. You'll notice small changes in your life, or people who are mean to you, or kind of not being mean to you, or slowly leaving your life, or whatever it is. And then be thankful and grateful for those small changes, because when the universe gives you something and you acknowledge it, they get very excited. Okay, she noticed. They're going to give you something else. Everything that happens to you is a part of your experience. It helps you grow. Acknowledge it, thank it, and move on. Otherwise, it's just going to keep happening and happening until you learn the lesson that you're meant to learn. So sometimes you can ask, okay, what's the lesson today? Give it to me. And then keep your eyes open for the lesson. You can really actively work on your healing if you want to engage it that way. And make it playful and fun. Like, what do you have for me today? Let's do it. And, so it lightens the load because it's heavy out there. So I hope this healing really brought a lot of peace to you today. Have you sweet dreams. And I think next week is a paid call on forgiveness. It's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a presentation, a tips and tricks sheet handed out. Pretty sure it's about forgiveness. Yeah, it is. We're going to go into breaking I guess, forgiving, breaking the resistance that's stopping you from forgiving other people or yourself. So we're going to work through that energetically. And that is the paid call only goes out to people who attended. So they'll get preview to it only because they may ask a question or something personal may come up. I don't want it just available on YouTube for just anyone to watch it. So it is only available to people who attend the call. And then we're back to, the next free call, which I believe, I'll just get up there, June 30th. Okay. All right, everyone, have a peaceful night and sleep well and allow that healing to happen. All right. Good night, everyone.